So yeah, so do you need power? Do you need to work on your skating? Yes, 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 yes. You have to do it. But I think when I said that, I don't know if the big difference maker is skating itself. Because like I'll back up a little bit. Is we've going back to what you were just saying. Is skating the way to fix skating? It's like okay, let's go back to a podcast we did early on when we started doing our podcast. It was with Chad Drummond with the Edmonton Oilers. He's the
Sports science.
sports scientist
Yeah.
guy with them, and he explained in this very, very good way to explain it. As a hockey player, what you do throughout the season is because you get in a squat, a hip hinge, whatever you want to call it, and you're hunched over a little bit, your body goes like a fishing pole that has, when
A
you're
fish
pulling a
on it.
fish and
Yeah.
it's pulling, it's like you're hunched over. And if you continue to train in that environment, you're not training anything new, so you're going to maybe try to go faster in that environment. Maybe you're trying to get a longer stride, but your body's not in the right position for that. So your goal to make yourself more efficient is to do things that are going to take that fishing pole and straighten it out so your shoulders are back, your hips are opened up,
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. So skating for your training, number one, is not where you want to spend most of the time, within reason, right? So what you want to keep in mind when you're doing this is that that's number one after a season is to get back into a good posture,
Right.
to let your body open up and heal.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Just to sharpen that up a little bit.
Yeah.
He was exactly that example. Your body's like the fishing rod. You're bent right over. If you don't undo that, let's say like overuse movement patterns and whatever, there's things that you disproportionately have been using through the season, meaning that other things have not been getting the proper attention. So if you have a poor movement pattern because you've been doing that the whole season and you don't spend time to undo that, you're digging yourself into a deeper hole of a bad movement pattern, and this is where bad habits start to happen. If you don't spend the time to undo that, that's number one. Number two, if you don't reestablish some strength in those areas that you were missing, especially in a sport like hockey, like strength is coming from everywhere in hockey. It's not just the certain muscles in your legs or certain muscles in your chest it's everything. Everything needs to be firing as much as possible. So if you don't give dedicated time to some of those weaker areas, then when you go to improve your strength later, those other areas are going to be lagging behind. Those are going to hold you back. So when you are working on your skating now specifically, you didn't establish that strength that you need in those other areas to contribute to that skating speed. So that was a really good way for that he framed it up for us when we were talking about it. It's
then
like
those tendons that they're like steel cables after a while. Try stretching those.
yeah,
That's
right?
what I was like.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
So
as I
it
got
takes
older.
work to do
Yeah.
those other, and those are the other things we're talking about, right? Especially when you're well, not even when you're younger, pro, junior,
Oh, for sure.
younger. It's like
For
you
sure.
need to give time in other areas. It's not just the one thing.
Yeah. So the big difference makers to me, okay, so I would say this one was when you are hitting puberty. A big difference in your skating will be just by working out.
Oh yeah, huge.
And the more proper, the better. But like just by working out, why? Because once you start squatting properly, you learn how to hip hinge properly. So like you take a kid that has maybe that forward lean where their head and shoulders are over their toes and they're straight legged a little bit or knee knocked and stuff like that. Just a simple thing by spending a summer learning how to squat properly can change that because now you know what that feels like. So that's one, right? You learn how to hip hinge. You do single leg movements, like learning how to be strong on one leg to the other. You're gonna get a lot of benefit from that. You're gonna just start getting more um, coordinated, but stronger from one leg. So you're gonna be able to have more power when you skate. Jumping is a very similar movement to skating in many ways because you have an arm swing and all that kind of stuff. And you get some, now you're going to get some core strength, but what this does is helps you generate strength. I'm not saying the only thing is to weight lift, but just by lifting weights, now when you push off and you're getting a little bit stronger, you got some hair on your body and testosterone and stuff. Now just that alone is going to make you a little bit faster and stronger, like generate force. So that to me is a big difference maker in itself. The next one I would say would be plyos, doing plyometrics. So what does that mean? It's just, I'm not even being real specific here, but by doing plyometrics, you're teaching your mind-body connection to be twitchy, a little bit, being able to touch ground, generate force real quickly. So that's a good thing for your quick starts, maybe for your change of direction. And then another thing that a lot of people don't think about is just understanding your feet, right? Like if you spend like a lot of the workouts, you have them going just from the balls of their feet to the starting and landing. And there's a reason for that, because that's in that area is where you're generating a lot of your quickness from. And that's how you be quick. That's how you have that quick turnover, right?
Yeah, for sure. Just
So
one I'll add to that is the even just an aerobic base, like having a base where you're not going to be tired. People don't understand, and I don't have to get to like the sciencey stuff even about it for people to understand why it's important. It's very easy to understand. If you get tired, everything does not work. So before we even get into how much more efficient it makes your body, if you have good aerobic metabolism, if that's a thing that is good for you, then we don't even have to go into that because that's hugely beneficial. But without even going into that, if you get tired, everything stops working properly. Everything. So you could have the best mechanics ever. If you gas out, then it doesn't matter. It's over.
yeah,
Right.
100%.
So what'll happen if you don't have a good aerobic base? What happens is you start leaning on your anaerobic ability, which is that more high intensity type of drive, and that's what taps your nervous system out, where you start to be gassed. And if you are gassed, nothing works. So if you can stay in that aerobic area because you have such a good base for a longer period of time, you can maintain good posture, good mechanics for longer. So there's a thing that you would never think, like do those 5K runs we talked about, right? If you get really good at those and have a really good 5K time, I bet you that on the ice, it'll be a lot easier for you to focus on your skating and become a better skater, because you're not worried about being tired now. You don't have to think about that. It's like, I'm good. My brain can be engaged because I'm not tired. And now I can think about how to be a better skater. So there's just a great example of, like, you wouldn't even think of that. You wouldn't think that is going to contribute to better skating,
Yeah.
but it actually does. You
Yeah,
know?
for sure, man. The other thing would be just mobility. So why mobility? What does that mean? It's just being able to move your body properly, like getting mobile hips, right? Being able to open up your hips and having a limber back, shoulders, core, and all those different things. That just allows you to move more fluidly. If you can be mobile, you're more fluid. So if you have a body that's fluid when you go to skate, as long as you're not like a wet noodle, then your body will move the way it's supposed to move. But if it's tight, like if you just keep doing skating, and you don't work loosening up your hips and stuff like that, your lower back, your thoracic spine, everything, then your body's going to be tight. You're never going to get that perfect stride, right? Um, yeah, the body's more fluid, and then you're strengthening your smaller muscles, right? So mobility is just those little small muscles that no one, like you said, no one ever heard about. Having them have good mobility makes a big difference. So now your body can just move freer on the ice, which is one thing. And then with that would be kind of yoga or
Yeah, in
a
the same ballpark.
Pilates or a good stretching routine or dynamic stretching, is to be able to have your body move in different ways.
Yeah. And one example that I remember for myself was I never used to do dynamic warm ups before I would play. And I remember Ryan Donnelly actually was the first guy that ever showed me a dynamic warm up. So I hadn't really implemented it, but no one was really showing me how to do dynamic warm ups. So I remember the one that Ryan showed me, and that was when I would have been when I was 15, 16 in my draft year. So I started doing it for myself. And I remember doing those A skips where you do like that high knee, or people have done high knees. A skip is like a high knee. And I remember where my knee would get stuck. I'd get my knee to parallel, and that was it. So that knee drive, I was stuck right at parallel. If my knee was straight out, like perpendicular from my torso. And I remember over time, vividly, that all of a sudden my knees started shooting up, where I could basically like knee myself in the chest now. And I remember thinking, like, holy crap, like, what is going on here? And everything in those, like, so I'm not saying it's because I did a dynamic warm up alone, but I'm saying adding that into my regular routine of things that I'm doing to help myself, that was correlated perfectly with the time where I started to think, okay, I'm actually a fast skater now on the ice. Whereas before I was always like a mid-pack, whatever. But once I hit my first year of junior, it's like I'm one of the fastest guys on my team. And I'm not saying it's because I did knee drives alone, but that was one of the things that I didn't do on the ice. It was off the ice. I'm working on my knee drives, right? So
yeah, it's a huge thing, because that's what you want a longer stride. You can push it this way, or you can drive it forward.
right.
And if you haven't done mobility on your hips, then that knee drive, you've never practiced it,
Yeah.
and how powerful that is, and that's your twitchiness, then you're not going to get it.
And that's the other side that parents don't even think about. People that are teaching skating, even. I mean, I would hope most skating coaches know this, but like the stride goes both ways. Like you're going out, like you're saying, to a full extension, but if you can't drive your knee back as far as possible, then you're not catching as much ice to push out the next time, right? So working on that knee drive, it's not just the stride out, it's the recovery coming back. That's equally as important. That's half the stride.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, 100%.
Yeah.
So like, and the next thing I had would be track.
Yeah.
Like if you look at some of the most powerful, quick specimens in the world are in the sprinters.
Oh yeah, 100 meters, baby.
Yeah, 400 down.
Unit.
400 down. You got to go fast for a period of time. And so, so why track? Like how that? It's not skating. That's what people would say. It's not the same movement. It doesn't have to be the same movement. It's the principles of it, or so what you're learning in it. You're touching on a whole bunch of things. So like the first thing you ever do in a track workout is mobility. And it's really good mobility. So, and there's dynamic mobility. So, like track coaches will teach you to like right away that hip is not driving and you can't hold a posture properly. So there's another thing, posture, where you're not compensating, then you can't fire properly. And then it's about learning how to land on your feet again. It's like you understand your feet. So like there's all these different things. So it's just you take that principle. It's not exactly skating, but there's crossover stuff, right? It teaches you how to be. You're not running a 100-meter dash very well if you don't have an explosive start. So are you on an edge? No, but there's ways to manipulate that into hockey. It's about turning it over quick, generating as much force as possible. You can learn that in track, right? It's again fluidity. Sprinters cannot be very good sprinters if they're uptight. They're tight.
Rigid, yeah.
You can't be rigid. You have to have that loose upper body. Your body will learn how to just flow together. It'll have a coordination upper and lower body, right? And understand your feet, understand your posture. So my point to all this is that you can take all this stuff if you're touching on, you don't have to do them all, but try some other different aspects of it and just watch. And I've had good success with just a few people that have actually been listening, and they've called and they said, "Can't believe it." So my son wasn't on the ice for 3 weeks. I was freaking out. I was freaking out, Andy, and I just listened to you. And he went back and he looked really, really good. And I go, I know. So that's my point, is that it doesn't have to be straight skating. It's all these other things to make you more fluid, make you more flexible, make you more powerful, make you more twitchy, to make you more mobile. And then when you go to now what it's saying is your body is just going to move properly instead of skate like, because if you just try to straight the skating pattern, it's almost like, I think it's tough.
Well, yeah.